everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya Eileen and I'm a Dutch expat who lives in England, and today I like to talk about British plugs and sockets vs European or American plugs and sockets. So there is a few that I want to show you, but there's also someone who made a video about those two differences. And let me take a quick look. His name is Tom Scott, and he is more technical than I am, so he can explain it better than I do. So that is a little video I also want to show you to explain the differences in it, because that is something I needed to get used to when I came and live here in England. So let's start with something else. So what I have here is two electric plugs. This one is the one that we use in the Netherlands and Europe, or also I believe in America. And this one, the 3 plug, is the one we use in England. And I believe I think Scott can explain it better than I am. So but I didn't know this. I watched this video because it popped up to me to do a reaction of it, etc. And well, he can explain more than I do. But there's something else I'd like to show you. So what you're seeing here is what a socket here in England, and what I had to use to, because we don't have that in the Netherlands, is the 2 little buttons above it in the red, what I circled in the red. Those are separate plugs, or I mean like buttons that you can switch on the electricity and off the electricity. So basically you are protected 2 times by here in England, and I didn't know that. It was really a eye-opening to know that. So this is very, very different than I'm used to in the Netherlands. So I don't know if it is the percentages of electricity that go through them as well. I don't know. But yeah, this is one of the biggest changes, and I didn't use it before. It took me a few years to actually use those buttons, but they come in handy. So what I'm going to do now is show you the little video of Scott, and like I said before, he can explain it better than I do, but this is the change what I saw, and I was thinking that would be interesting for you all to know. So let's take a look at that little video of him.
I get a little bit patriotic sometimes. And sometimes that's for comedy purposes, and sometimes it's genuine. And this is genuine, because I really do believe that the British plug is one of the greatest designs that has ever hit the world. For loads of reasons. I mean, there's a safety feature that most folks, at least in Britain, know, which is that it's really difficult for a kid to take, say, a screwdriver and just poke it into one of the holes. Because up here is earth, ground, for the Americans, that's a safety one. These two here are live and neutral, where the actual danger is. But they've got shutters over them. Don't try and sit at home. I cannot poke a screwdriver in there right now. What I have to do is plug the earth pin, which you can see is slightly longer, the ground pin here, in first. And when that goes in, little shutters come up and let the other pins in. So I can show that, because this extension here is really badly designed, which means I can put the plug in upside down. So if you have a look at those shutters, when I put the earth pin in, there we go, and there's now a contact for the other two pins. So you need to have a really inventive baby to be able to put one in there and another in there and then get a shock. So that's safer, that's brilliant. What about if we leave the plug halfway out? Because American, European sockets, you leave the plug halfway out, you've got live electricity that you can kind of touch. You can get a finger in there. Well, not here, because on the live and neutral pins on the bottom, you can see insulation extends halfway through them. If the plug is far enough in to make a connection, like that, all you can touch is the insulation. Okay, so that's the obvious safety features. What about on the inside? Because you've got to remember, until 1992, the British government did not require that electrical appliances had plugs on them. If you bought a toaster or a washing machine, you would get, almost always, a bare wire at the end. And you'd expect it to wire the plug yourself. So I got taught how to wire a plug in school, because that was still a required skill back then. Here we go, if I open this up. First, there's a fuse. And that's an artifact of when the standard was made. Post-World War II, there was a copper shortage. And, well, it was a lot cheaper to require a fuse in every plug and just build the circuit as one loop of cable going around the whole house than it was to have loads of individual copper strands going out all over the house and a fuse for each. So they just made the house one giant circuit, put a fuse in each plug. That's now safer. Then you've got the three wires. Blue is neutral. BL, L for left, blue goes to the left. Brown is live, BR, R goes to the right, live goes to the right. You can also remember that live is brown because that's the colour your trousers will go if you accidentally hit yourself with it. And finally there's this one, the green and yellow. That's the earth or the ground wire. Now in normal operation that shouldn't be used, but it's basically a return path if all else fails. If something goes electrically wrong in the plug or in the appliance, that will ground it and all the electricity will safely go away from people. Because if that disconnects and there's a problem, well, you could touch the metal bit of this toaster and the electricity could ground itself through you and through your heart, which is bad. So instead, you have this wire here, and this is the really clever bit. This is the bit that not many people know about. You see that slack in the wire just here? In the event that there's a tug on this cable and something goes wrong, and all these start fraying and coming out, the live and the neutral, the ones where the danger is, they'll get pulled out first, and then the earth wire will come out next. So in the event of damage or fraying, it's most likely that the earth wire is going to be the safe one and no one's going to get killed. So there you go, the British plug, genuinely one of the best bits of design I've ever come across, with one exception, which is that if you just let it fall on the ground because, you know, you're just throwing something out the way, it will almost certainly end up with the points pointing upwards, which means in the middle of the night, when you stand on it, it is really going to hurt. You can also remember that because the live one is brown, because that's the colour your trousers will go if you accidentally hit yourself with it. And the big yellow... You okay there?
I didn't see that coming.
No one ever does.
So, as you could see, there is a thing that is very good. Hold on. So, as I was saying, you see a bit of the difference in plug and sockets. Once again, Dutch, European, English, and I like to thank Tom Scott, who made this video and explained it a bit easier and better than I could do. Now I rewatched this. I think it's a bit bad. It's a good way that British plugs, electric plugs, are better designed than European or American. and it's good to know that you will be protected two ways in a way. So and of course the kids too, and animals, that is very important. So I hope you guys are a bit knowledgeable now. Now you watch this, and let me know what your experience are in the comment below, of course. And like I always say, if you have any question about Indonesia or the Netherlands, drop that in the comment below, and I will see if I can make a video of it, and to make it easier for you and for me, and then you know. So I see you next week. Bye.